Most theory of knowledge students inevitably get to the question, what is art? And if they're good thinkers, they may get to the question, why is art? That is, why do we create artistic knowledge? And if they're going to come up with an answer that goes beyond the superficial, the superficial, to entertain ourselves, then they're going to have to get into theories of aesthetics. Or at least the TOK teacher is going to get into theories of aesthetics. And there are two titans in the theories of aesthetics, Immanuel Kant and G.W.F. Hegel. And their contrasting theories of aesthetics tell us about beauty, art, and humanity's place in the creative process. In today's video, I aim to give you an accessible overview of their respective theories, show you how their theories can be linked to theory of knowledge, and answer the question, are we the art? Welcome to TOK Today. I'm Daniel and I enjoy writing and vlogging about TOK. Today's video comes from my desire to help students to go beyond the superficial responses to artistic knowledge that I often see. These responses are, art is all subjective, it's up to the viewer knower to decide, and we just make art to entertain ourselves. So we're going to begin with Immanuel Kant, whose 1790 critique of judgment established aesthetics as a central philosophical concern. Kant approached art and beauty with what we call a formalist lens. He argued that beauty isn't about function, representation, or moral significance. Instead, it's about the interaction between our imagination and understanding. That is the interaction between two different types of knowledge. And for Kant, when we see something beautiful, a sunset, a painting, or even a flower, we experience what he calls a free play of our mental faculties. This interplay gives rise to a unique kind of pleasure, what he called aesthetic pleasure. So what makes Kant's approach useful for TOK is his idea that judgments of beauty are disinterested. This means that we appreciate beauty for its own sake, for its inherent qualities, not because it serves a purpose or meets a need. So take this mountain view. You're probably not thinking about where you would build a house or how it could generate tourism revenue. Well, you're not if you're a Kantian. Instead, you're captivated, if you're a Kantian, you're captivated by its form, its colours, its proportions, and maybe the sense of unity that it evokes. So Kant's formalist theory focuses on the object's form, its arrangement of lines, shapes, and colours, and how this form resonates universally. It's a timeless approach. Now, modern formalists like Clive Bell echoed Kant when they argued that significant form is the source of aesthetic emotion, transcending cultural and historic boundaries. But for Kant, this universality is rooted in shared human cognition. Beauty, though subjective, carries a claim to universality because it arises from faculties that we all possess. So here we see an opportunity for a more nuanced TOK argument. Rather than stating that the evaluation of artistic knowledge is subjective, we can argue that there is a degree of objectivity in such evaluations because they come from a shared perceptual experience, and they're often positioned within a shared cultural framework. Now, obviously, there's a lot more to say about Kant, but in order to keep the video concise, we'll move on to Hegel. G.W.F. Hegel challenges Kant's static universal view of beauty. For Hegel, art is not an abstract harmony detached from context. Instead, it's a dynamic process, deeply embedded in history and culture. Art, in Hegel's words, is the sensuous appearance of the idea. What does that actually mean? Well, Hegel believed that art evolves alongside human self-awareness. In his famous 1818 to 1829 lectures on aesthetics, he outlined three historical stages of art: the symbolic stage, the classical stage, and the romantic stage. Each stage reflects humanity's evolving understanding of itself and its relationship with the divine. In the symbolic stage, seen in ancient Eastern civilizations, there's a mismatch between form and content. The divine is abstract, ineffable, and beyond comprehension, which is why the forms are often exaggerated or distorted. Think of the towering pyramids or gods with multiple arms. They hint at deeper meaning, but fail to fully embody it, according to Hegel. Next comes the classical stage, exemplified by ancient Greece. Here, form and content achieve harmony. The divine is humanized, and art reaches its pinnacle with works like Greek sculptures. The gods are portrayed in idealized human forms, representing balance and clarity. Finally, we reach the Romantic stage, linked to Christianity and modernity. Here the unity of form and content breaks down. Art becomes more inward, expressing the individual's struggles and spirituality. Gothic cathedrals, for example, point beyond themselves, striving to represent something infinite and ungraspable. For Hegel, this marks the beginning of art's decline as the highest form of human expression, eventually giving way to philosophy and TOK. Now, in TOK terms, we can use Hegel's theory of aesthetics to argue that art is the product of its preceding context, and it's the generator or constructor of its current context. Now, an iterative process of the development of artistic knowledge leads to the development of a new context, which in turn leads to the development of new artistic knowledge, and so on and so on. So, how do Kant and Hegel compare? Kant's aesthetics emphasise timeless universals. Beauty is about harmonious form, free from practical concerns or cultural context. It's about what happens in your mind when you encounter beauty, a universal experience rooted in human cognition. Hegel, on the other hand, places art within a grand historical narrative. For him, beauty isn't static or universal, but it develops as humanity's self-awareness evolves. Art reflects the spirit of its time, its values, struggles, and beliefs. And this is why Hegel considered the classical period the peak of artistic expression, with later art becoming increasingly abstract and reflective. Now, in TOK terms, Kant is offering us a fixed, static, near-objective definition of artistic knowledge. On the other hand, Hegel is offering us an ever-evolving dynamic definition of artistic knowledge. Which brings us back to the question, are we the art? For Kant, art is the reflection of universal human faculties, something that connects us all on a cognitive level. Whereas for Hegel, art is a mirror of humanity's constant developing, capturing our evolving self-understanding. In a sense, we are the art, whether through the universal harmony that Kant describes or the historical development that Hegel outlines. It all comes back to us. Now, by taking just these rather crudely drawn differences in Kant and Hegel's approaches to the definition and function of artistic knowledge, TOK students can develop more substantive, nuanced and sophisticated responses in their discussions of artistic knowledge and AOK the arts. If you found today's video useful, then please press the like button. And if you want more TOK content, then please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Hegel or Kant is the way we roll in TOK.